Hello, historians. So now I'm going to show you how to identify the main idea of a text, specifically for the question that we annotated earlier. Here we go. Prehistoric Times, a Stone Age Family by ushistory.org. Because there was no written language 50,000 years ago, we do not have much information on how a modern Stone Age family lived. Okay, so I know that I'm only really going to focus on paragraph 2 in my question, but I do want to make sure that I'm getting a general sense of what the text is talking about, so I still need to code every paragraph so that I don't lose track of what the whole article is trying to talk about. We don't have much information on how the modern Stone Age family lived, what they ate, where they lived, what they wore, or even what they looked like. Archaeologists and anthropologists who study this time period do have artifacts upon which they can begin to draw some conclusions. Okay, so far, two main groups of people mentioned. Techniques like carbon dating can help scientists determine the age of objects and bones. Okay, so carbon dating, I'm going to underline that. That sounds like a thing. That sounds like something that they do. I'm going to see if they continue to talk about it. Plants get carbon from the atmosphere, which helps them grow. Humans eat the plants and get the carbon in their bodies and their bones. When people die, their bodies stop taking in carbon, and the carbon slowly leaves their bones over time. By measuring how much carbon is left in bones, scientists can tell how old they are. Okay, so the rest of this paragraph does continue to talk about carbon dating. It gives me the how of how this works. So plants get carbon from the atmosphere. Humans eat the plants. And then when people die, their bodies stop taking in the carbon. And then scientists can tell how old someone is by measuring whatever carbon is left in their bones. Okay, so I'm going to pause my reading for right now because I know that I need to focus on this question or this paragraph because of the question we annotated. And I'm going to write a gist statement. For the sake of time, here's the gist statement that I already wrote. So I said scientists, because those are the main people that were talked about, use carbon dating, that's the main what, and then they do it to measure how much carbon is left in the bones. So that's the why behind it, and it helps them figure out how old a skeleton is. All right. I am going to keep on reading because, as I said before, it's important to read the entire text, not just the one section or the one paragraph that a question's asking you to read, or to asking you a question about. So, now scientists measure potassium in the ash from volcanoes. Okay, still talking about scientists. They use potassium from volcanoes. I'm going to read more about that maybe. That was found alongside the bones. Because potassium is radioactive and decays over time, its age can be figured out as well. This tells scientists that the bones and objects found there can be millions of years old. Okay, so the how is potassium is radioactive, decays over time. Okay, and large human skulls, body bones, animal skeletons, cave paintings, and scientific ideas on ancient climate patterns allow scientists to draw a picture of what life may have been like for primitive people. Okay, so this last sentence kind of feels like a summary of like the whole section that I've just read. And now I'm ready to answer, focusing on paragraph 2 and the gist statement that I already wrote. I'm going to try and find the answer that best aligns to my gist statement.